everyone. Welcome. I guess I should do my intro, right? Aloha, everyone.
Aloha.
Choi.
Hello.
Welcome to our Chinese New Year's readings. And it looks like we have quite a few people popping in. Thomas was here earlier. Aloha, Thomas. Aloha, Heather. Soul Alchemy with Indigo Jaguar.
Hi, Heather.
Aloha, Michelle Williams.
Hi,
Aloha,
Michelle.
Maruta. Madam Maru.
Aloha, Maruta.
Welcome, everyone. So we were thinking about doing some readings today, specifically for the Chinese New Year. And get that banner up. Thank you for joining us, Hershe.
Thank you for inviting me, Jonathan. I appreciate it.
We were going to do the typical 3-card thing, jump us around kind of thing. Although I don't think we really need to jump around per se. And we are doing a 3-question spread. What seeds have been planted? And we're talking about, in the previous year. What harvest has been cleared? Like, what of the seeds has grown and you've harvested, and now there's room for new seeds, right? And what do your ancestors ask you to nourish right now and nurture, right? So I said nourish, but it says nurture. That's interesting. No mistakes, right?
Close enough. We'll allow it.
So because it is year of the young wood dragon, of course, I had to pull out some dragon decks. Dragon Tarot, a Dragon Oracle. Of course, since it's Chinese New Year, I had to get the Chinese 5 Elements Oracle out. What decks are you guys using?
I have 5 Cent Tarot. I have a Colette Baron Reed deck, Wisdom of the Oracle, and I have my Dragon deck.
Nice.
That's what
I'm using my regulars. I have my Chakra deck. I have the why can't I ever remember this? The Light Seers.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Light Seers and my good old RWS.
Aloha, Deanne. Welcome. Madam Maru asked.
Oh, hi. Hi.
Oh, Siri, I'm not talking to you. My phone just like, one moment. I'm like, what? I wasn't talking to you. So Maru, you asked which Dragon Oracle. I've pulled out the Universal Dragon Oracle, which I think uses similar art. Is the one that you have, Hershe, is that the what's Cooper? Yes. Okay. So this uses the same art as the same artist as that deck.
That's why when I noticed it, I was like, oh, it's the same. It's almost the same. I definitely recognized it.
Aloha, Saskia. Welcome.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome, everyone. So if you are, let's see, where'd my banner go? I had one to say, if you want a reading, say me, but now I don't see it. Of course, right? Well, if you would like a reading, type me in all capitals and I will add you to the list. Apparently my banner disappeared on me.
It happens.
Yeah. And so we're going to take turns answering each question for each person.
And hey, it's the new moon too. How's everybody doing with new moon?
Right. That's a lot of energy.
It's been pretty smooth for me. I'm I've had a lot to be freaked out about lately, but so far this one is treating me pretty well. I'm feeling um, a little more chill.
Well, it's not just a new moon; it's a new supermoon. So
Yeah, it's a lunar. It's a super lunar moon. Yeah.
So that new moon energy is even bigger than normal, I think. So I think that's one of the reasons why we're feeling it more
I'm a
smoothly, I
moon
guess.
baby. I love it.
Yeah.
It's been pretty chill, which is great. I needed some chill out.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
I'm just gonna remake that. And we will make it a ticker. There we go. Want to read it? Type in me.
Type in me.
Me. Me.
Me.
Well, and it's funny too because one of my dogs, her name is Mimi. So I'm like, no, I'm not talking to you. Mimi. Me.
How is the pet tribe? Has Buddha started chilling out yet?
Not really. I mean, a little. Like I can leave him alone and not have to kennel him anymore. But
Oh, that's a big step. That's a big step.
that's a big step. But I mean, he still has way too much energy, and when someone new comes in the house, he's all over them, like jumping on them. And he has this thing where he's flailing at people all the time with his little paws. Flail, 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 flail.
I think Boston Terriers are kind of known to be that dog anyway. And when they're still young, right? So hopefully, but at least he can be out of the kennel. That's a big step. That's a very positive step.
Yes. So our first reading we have is Michelle Williams. Let me get those questions back up again. So Hershe, I guess let's start with you in number 1. I'll do number 2, and Betsy do number 3.
Okay. Let me see. What seeds have you been planted? What seeds have been planted? So I got 7 of matches. It's all about, conviction and perseverance. So just understanding that you've accomplished a lot already and that you have moved a lot of obstacles out of your way will ultimately make it a much easier year this year. Just make sure you're always got yourself extra protected and always develop some kind of casual connection with yourself so that you don't always have to worry about it so intensely.
Okay. Thank you. What harvest has been cleared? Interesting enough, I get the Hermit here. I love that star up in the sky like that. That's pretty. So I'm feeling like that time of aloneness is over finally, and you're able to. And the funny thing is, I pulled a Universal Dragon Oracle to go with it. So I'm seeing this as the time for hermitude is over, and it's time to come out and play. Right. So time to put down your crystal ball and come play in the storms.
Cool. And I kind of feel like I got the Page of Pentacles, but I kind of feel like this all makes sense. Hershe was talking about paying attention to yourself. Jonathan's talking about kind of a rebirth coming out and into rejoining the world. And this one to remind us that the focus is on the material world with a balance of the self. To be aware of yourself in the material world. It feels to me like instead of going out into the material world and trying to be the person everybody else is expecting, while you have your spiritual pursuit side that you keep to yourself, this time around to be out there in the material world as your spiritual self, expressing itself in our plane, in our earth dimension, and seeing how that works for you this time, instead of trying to be what other people are expecting to see, to show the universe the person that you choose to be. That's cool. I like, I try and do that every
That
day.
really flowed well.
I try and do that every day. So I'm kind of in love with your reading.
I know, right?
I'm
I
kind
think
of in
it's
love with
time
your
for
reading.
all of us to come out of hermitude and start playing again. Everyone's so serious all the time, right? And Michelle says, "You guys are 100%."
You're very welcome.
But I could probably count on both hands the times I've felt so enamored with someone's reading. Wow.
Mm-hmm. It's not often that I feel like, ooh, that's calling to me too. Our next one is Heather.
Heather.
And while we shuffle, I am going to shuffle us. Kabloop. Okay. Yeah. So now I have what seeds have been planted. Betsy has what harvest has been cleared. And Hershey is what your answers ask you to nurture. What seeds have been planted? Oh, wow. This is a really. I always wowed by this deck. So here's the Hierophant, right? What seeds have been planted. And this is not the typical Hierophant. This is the dragon on top of an ancient Mesoamerican pyramid with all the jungle animals coming to.
Hey, Jonathan, come back. Come back. Oh, come back. The neighborhood he's in is pretty compact, and there's a lot of power lines running around. So,
Oh. Well, let's hope.
Right.
Let's hope.
Yeah, let's move on. I'll give mine. Okay, so I actually got two that came with this one. So what harvest has been cleared? The wheel, along with the Queen of Cups. So this to me says what's been cleared, that is emotional triggering with the cycles that we go through the highs and lows and the ups and downs, that we have a better sense of detachment and objectivity moving forward.
Very good. Very good. So I got 4 of needles, and it's okay when you're asking your ancestors and the first thing they hit you with is a 4 of needles, because you understand that it's absolutely about rest too, right? And while you're resting and while you are literally recuperating and you are rebuilding your inner structure, they wanted you to understand that this introspection that you're doing of yourself with your 4 of needles was paired with an air and water dragon, which is all about self, right? It tells you to help connect to your inner higher frequencies. So make sure you take this time to really rest, really recuperate, so that you know that you will be on your best and top of your game for when you're ready to start on the next step. And that's what I got for you, sweetheart. Hi, Jonathan.
Hi,
Hey,
sorry
Jonathan,
about that.
you're back. You can give us the rundown on the seeds that have been planted.
Yes, well, I mean, as everyone was pointing out, there's a jaguar right there, right? So this for me is the seed that you planted for you to become more of a leader in the spiritual community, right? So,
And Heather, I remember we were talking about all the different perspectives that people had. There's so many different teachings and what makes sense for you and what doesn't. And that, with the Hierophant card showing up as what seeds have been planted, makes so much sense to me. And your objectivity, your observation and objectivity. Yeah, that one resonated for me too. That's so cool. And the resting on it as well, with Hershey's card. You've collected a lot of information. Time to let it settle.
Right. That's interesting because I pulled a oracle card to go with it, Betsy, and the card is rest.
Oh, yes,
Imagine that.
yes. You've done it, girl. You've collected everything. And remember, like I told you, when you sift through and you figure out what makes sense for you, you're going to go farther than all of us with it. I just really feel like that's going to happen. You're going to blaze your own trail, girl.
I love it. Yeah. So cool. Hope that was helpful, Heather. And sorry for disappearing on you guys. My computer had a hiccup.
It's okay.
No
That's
idea.
okay. We got girl power going over here too. We just carried on.
Well, it was weird because I I paused and I was like, wait, what's happening? And then I just saw the whirling circle of death. Oh my goodness. Heather says, wow, no pressure, Betsy.
But it isn't any pressure, because when you do sift through all that stuff and figure out what resonates for you, it's going to be it's going to be a new perspective, and it's going to be something people are going to resonate with. It's going to be there's going to be more people that are going to understand it, and it's just going to work out. Yeah. It's going to work out.
Absolutely.
So our next starred reading, and if you want a reading, please don't forget to put in capital me in the comments so I can add you to the list. Our next me is a very polite me, Madame Maru. Me, please.
Okay, so I was asked, before we even knew who was coming in, I was asked to pull a chakra card, and I got the throat chakra. So this is about speaking your truth. And then to go along with that, I have my good old RWS, the pence here, our trusty 6 of pence. So, again, the balance. And so what this to me is saying about what seeds have been planted is your demonstration and willingness of helping others, but also understanding when it's time to draw some boundaries and some limits, and to speak up when you've reached your limits with your charity, to speak up. You've done this, and so now Hershey's going to tell us what's coming.
This is not a surprise, not to me, and I don't think it's going to be a surprise to anybody else. When it comes to the harvest that's already been cleared, that work is done. It's over with, right? All you can do now is reap that benefit. You got Queen of Matches. What they really are really screaming to me is courage. There is something about you that you're not yielding anymore on. You flat just ain't going for it. Like, it's no longer part of your MO. Anybody that steps to you thinking that they're going to take your kindness for weakness is about to get a rude awakening. They paired it with a lilac dragon, okay? The lilac fire dragon is about opening up and transcending what was into something new. So what you're going to be doing as you take the next few steps forward is something that you haven't done, but you've got the courage to do it. And there's nothing holding you back, because all the other work that you were working on, it's cleared, it's over with, it's behind you. So you are stepping in with a clean palette, and you are coming in with your full power.
That ties in perfectly with the card I got for What Is Your Answers? Ask You to Nurture. I have the 6 of Wands here. But if you notice, the wands are being held by dragons. And the one central dragon that is like the winner has that little knight in shining armor, right? So this is telling you that, claim your victory, right? That person who seems like this tall, shining knight in armor is nothing compared to what you have to offer, right? And I'm feeling like this is tied into community, right? So don't be scared to speak up for your community. Don't be scared to, you know, be the one that leads the community. Okay. So all that tied together, just remember, you are a dragon among butterflies.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
And I saw that you popped in there. I just had to ask for loans, so I asked for a card about that. And here's what we got, girl.
Yeah,
10 of Cups. So looking good.
Well, especially with the 6 of Wands, right?
Yeah.
That's all about victory.
Think it's
Yeah.
going to work out. Yeah, think it's going to work out.
Yes.
Definitely. So that was our 3 readings that we have on our start list. Anyone else would like a reading? Type in me. And yeah, I'd love to pull more cards for people. The other oracle I have, which is very cute, is the Garden of Dragons.
I think that's
Go back to Garden Dragons is what it's
adorable.
really cute. So each dragon is tied to a specific fruit or vegetable. And yeah, so let me just pull one randomly for us. I pulled the watermelon dragon. So
Oh wow. I love it. I
It's
love it.
such
And
a
it
cool
matches me.
So what is the watermelon dragon all about?
It's all about success. I need to read the books a little more because I love what Arwen Lynch wrote.
Spazia says, me, please.
Me, please. Yes, my dear.
Whoa, okay, Beth. Hey, hi, Gerald. Howdy.
Yeah.
For a quick hello, special event for
Aloha, Gerald.
Oh, hello. Thanks for popping in. Good to see you. Mwah.
I think we're gonna skip the Garden Dragons so I know that deck a little better. Okay, Beth, let us move around. There we go. So, Hershe, you're back at number 1.
Okay. Oh, well, they gave me a card, too.
I've got the Harvest, and Betsy has the Ancestors.
Well, this is going to be a real easy one. So, what seeds have been planted, right? What did you do prior to today, right? Prior to today, you literally got to a stop sign and decided that you were going to fully make sure that every door and window was closed before you start a brand new journey, right? Every time you get to a 10 or anytime you get to a stop sign, that is not about you don't have to go no farther. It just means that you're going to start it on a different kind of starting point because you get to take all of the knowledge, right? They paired it with an Omega Dragon, which is all about harnessing that female power, right? So as you're taking in this new step in this new journey, once you get past this stop sign that you're in, this place of rest, because you need to honor everything you accomplished, go ahead and start it in a very positive place. And you're starting it with divine feminine energy. So take it because this dragon is very powerful and she's got a lot to teach when she steps in.
It's beautiful. Kind of goes along with what harvest has been cleared because I got the 7 of Cups for you here. But the thing I'm seeing is that, this dragon is dreaming of all these cups, right? Of all the possibilities laid out in front of you. You've already figured out that most of these are not for you, right? And I see at the very top here, the cup has a phoenix rising, the very last cup at the top there, right? So I'm feeling like those choices, those ideas are behind you now, and you are being reborn as who you truly are meant to be.
Right.
And funny enough, I shuffled and I cut the deck, and community came back out. So I'm feeling like you are clearing your community of those people that no longer serve, not necessarily serve you, but just serve your highest good, right? So those people that caused all those emotional upheavals because you're trying to decide whether to deal with it or not, you're able to now move on and only stick with the people that are like the butterflies that keep you elevated, right? Instead of the ones that bring you down. And that is what has cleared.
Cool. And what do your ancestors ask you to nurture? So I was asked to draw RWS, and I got the Nine of Wands. And I thought to myself, well, now how does that make sense to anything? So I was told draw a chakra card, and I got the third eye chakra. Okay, and I thought, well, now come on, guys, help me out here. And they said, okay, if you're not understanding us, here we have the Page of Swords. So here's what I'm thinking: that you've done a lot of hard work, third eye, intuition and knowing, and a new way of thinking about how hard to work, right? You've put in a lot of work, and I just keep hearing the saying over and over in my head: work smarter, not harder. So think it through and use your intuition to figure out new ways to approach whatever this work is that you're seeing in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Yeah, and Beth says, that makes total sense, Hershe. And yes, Jonathan. I guess I hit the head on the nail of the head, right? Oh, aloha, Peter.
Hi.
Peter J. Watts is here. We're involved with an online conference, so I'll listen back.
Oh yeah, that looked like they were doing a really cool event. I remember seeing something about it on Facebook. It looked like it was really interesting.
Yeah. You are
Cool.
so welcome, Beth.
Hope that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Knowing what Beth's been going through, it totally makes sense. Gerald, would you like a reading?
Is he still here?
If Gerald is still here, you know. And Heather says, "Hi, Peter. Please give Julie my regards."
Cool. Well, we could also do readings for each other.
Oh, that's true.
We could. What about you, Jonathan? Because I know Jonathan and I are in a little bit of the same boat. Is that we're both wanting to be out in the public scene more, and we live in a small town, more or less. I mean, it's an island of 160,000 people, not counting tourists, right? But there is not much places for community events. There's not like the bookstores that have the rooms in the back and the events and all that kind of stuff. Really not that much happening. Yeah. Oh, Deanne said she'll take a reading too. But yeah, we're both trying
to... Did you see what Beth said, though, Betsy? I literally had to replay Betsy to wrap my head around it. Lots in there.
Oops, sorry.
And yes, of course, Deanne. Here, let's do some rearranging.
Let's do that. Yes, priority.
Free range kids, yes. Well, and that's one of the reasons why I'm thankful we live on Maui, is because I can let my kid be a free range kid and not worry about it too much.
Yeah.
I feel like my kid is having a very similar upbringing than I did. Like, all the neighbors know each other. He can go out there. He can go play with his friends. I don't have to worry about him being hit by a car or being kidnapped or any of that kind of stuff. So part of it's the neighborhood too, right?
And we're just on a lucky island too. I mean, the only one that's safer than this one is Kauai. So
right, it's true.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm in number 1. Seeds that have been planted. Seeds have been planted. Oh, you're all about balancing things right now, aren't you, Deanne? Trying to figure out the how and why of everything that's going on around you. And, just trying to make sure that, work-play balance is there, adult-kid time balance is there. So it's all about that balance, right? And the seeds that you've been planting, goals, girl. Mm-hmm. And I see this as you returning to dance. I just saw that really strongly. It's like you're planting seeds to return to that dance field, becoming that instructor you've always wanted to be, that you've been, right? You just have to find your balance again. That's all that's happening. And that's the seeds that have been planted, right?
Seeds that have been planted. You're going to crack up on what harvest has been cleared. You're going to crack up, girl. Our good friend here. Yes, the harvest that's been cleared. You know which ones to walk away from. I mean, there's just nothing else needs to be said.
Hi, Karina.
Okay. So about the ancestors, the first thing I heard is thinker, 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 like the thinking man kind of situation. And I'm like, why am I getting like the thinking man kind of energy and the vibe? And the first thing that I pull is the magician, right? And I'm like, well, that actually kind of makes sense because the magician would have to know what goes in where and how much of this to put into that and mix it all to the left and 4 strokes to the right and all of that, right? So the magician is all about understanding what came before you also applies in what is also going to lead you somewhere as well. So what the ancestors are wanting me to literally tell you is that what you need to know to nurture your future is already within you because you are a thinker and you have a rainbow dragon on your side. And because of the rainbow dragon and the thinker and the magician card, all I can say is that the ancestors stand with you. They are proud of you, and you have literally everything at your fingertips, so to speak, to make things happen. I have to be very cautious with my words because they said another 4-letter word, but you can, shake some and make it happen. So make sure that you are doing it for yourself and it's productive and it's for your best outcome. And that's what the ancestors want you to understand.
That little message came through with Hershe's message about this 2 of Pentacles. If you notice, most 2 of Pentacles, it's one person juggling.
Mm-hmm.
Here we've got 2 people, 2 dragons, right? And they're working in unison. So you're not on this on your own, right?
That's right.
Hey, Viviani.
Hi, Viviani. Welcome. And I saw, let's see.
There's a Bill Anderson. Hello, Bill Anderson.
Hi, Bill. Don't know Bill Anderson. Welcome.
I don't either, but I love your last name. We got the same last name.
I used to have that last name.
Used to.
I was born with mine.
The nice judge gave me a full pardon.
Oh, that's hysterical. We actually have another one. We have Plucky is asking.
Plucky. Cool.
Someone acting up over there, Hershe?
I'm paying attention. I'm here, guys. I apologize. No, they're not acting up.
I know that your guys kind of tap you on the shoulder a lot. So
yeah, they do. They like the name. They like the name. They were wondering if it was short for something. The Bill Anderson. They're like, I wonder if that's short for something. I don't know. They're always busy. Okay, I was last.
Finally. Oh, okay.
So we are doing Plucky right now.
Plucky heroine. Okay. So what seeds have been planted? Plenty of them. Lots of seeds have been planted. And what my guides are telling me is you have done a lot of planting. Now it's going to be the time for you to select one crop to cultivate. So that says to me that you've probably looked at a lot of things, explored a lot of things. Now it's time to choose one thing to focus on for a little bit and really focus and get in there. Really go into the one thing instead of spreading yourself out all over the place.
Okay, so what have you cleared, right? A lot, because you got Hermit in reverse. So you're done with that. You can't Hermit anymore. It is literally time for you to come out and start clearing ley lines. You got the Earth and Fire Dragon. This dragon is about moving ley lines higher so that you can constantly continue to grow and advance in your knowledge, right? So this one is about clearing fifth dimension ley lines. So obviously you're progressing into another dimension somewhere within your conscious, your subconscious, your unconscious, somewhere in there. You're doing a lot of work and it's time to go. So this that you are clearing, it's over with. You don't have to work so hard. It's time to come out and try something new because your hermit is in reverse. So no more isolation. It's time to go to work. And that's what I got for you.
Thank you, Hershey. That's interesting because the tarot card I got is Sire of Swords, which is the King of Swords, right?
Right.
But if you notice, he's got a little dragonette sitting on his wing, and he's teaching, right? Teaching about the butterfly. So I'm feeling like it's about teaching the next generation, but also teaching yourself, right? Because the other card that came with it is change perspective, right? And that's why that hermit's reversed, because it's emulating the Hanged Man, trying to change your perspective on things, so you are then a master of your own thoughts instead of being mastered by your thoughts.
Absolutely.
So yeah, your ancestors asking you to nurture that inner mentality and being able to change perspective when needed. Okay. And and don't forget, there's that next generation sitting on your shoulder waiting to hear. And whatever weird patterns that we have, we pass down to the next generation. So change the perspective, change the pattern.
Yep.
That's what I have for you.
Cool.
That was helpful, Plucky.
Was there anybody else on our list? Did anybody else pop in with a reading request?
There's been a few people popping in, but I think that was the last me I saw. So, Viviani, Bill.
If you want a reading, type in
Karina,
me.
type in me, and we'll give you a reading. Yes, Karina says she would love a reading. So Karina is actually a friend of mine. She lives in the Bay Area, in California.
Oh, cool.
So
Hi.
Oh, and Bill, I will star you. We will read for you next, and Viviani after that.
Okay. So I am in the number 1 spot, right?
Yes. What seeds have been planted?
Okay. So you got the 5 of buttons, right? We don't like 5s when you look at them through the eyes of backwards binoculars, right? So what I want you to understand is that you're through with it, okay? It's planted. It's already done. You have worked through all of the hardships. You don't have hardships ahead of you anymore unless you choose to make it difficult. They want you to understand that this isolation and everything that you thought you needed to get through the hardship, that is not what you needed. You had to go through that hardship because there is something that is so blessed ahead of you that you wouldn't have been able to get through it if they didn't throw you through some hard times to make sure that not so much that you were deserving, but that you were open for it, because this was something that maybe you might not have understood or you may have clashed heads with. So they needed to make sure that you got that out of your way, and they gave you the green dragon. So the pairing couldn't be better because it helps you turn secrets into power. So the green dragon paired with the 5 lets me know that the hardship is over, and they did it because it was a perfect pairing for balance for you.
I love that. That green dragon kind of goes with the oracle I pulled.
Oh, wow.
Boundaries.
Yeah.
Boundaries, right? So the harvest that's been cleared is the fact that you are now capable of putting up your boundaries instead of letting people walk all over them. The card that came with it is the sun, right? The only way you can find that inner happiness is by putting up boundaries and making sure that everyone stays in their lane, right? It's time for you to stop trying to take care of everyone else And it's okay to be a little self-centered a little bit sometimes, to focus on being happy. Because if you don't, how can you pour from an empty cup? Right? And with boundaries, you create a whole river there of love and affection for those who are willing to accept your boundaries. Okay, that's what I have for the harvest that's been cleared.
So, what do your ancestors ask you to nurture? This is a surprise.
No.
Love it. I love it.
So, so I asked for clarification. What's this all about? And I got root chakra. So, to me, um, this is ending a cycle of trying to define your sense of self and safety in the world through the eyes and the opinions of others, and a little bit less about trying to find your way by doing things that gain you approval. If I get approval, I'll be safe and I'll be happy and I'll be secure. This is the call to end that cycle. It feels like this is just a natural part of the maturity process where you are in your life. I don't know if you're near a milestone birthday, doesn't matter, but just as we age, we begin to see ourselves a little bit more confidently, and we begin to trust our own wisdom and to know that the things work for us may or may not be in alignment with what others are expecting of us, but it's okay that you're going to find your road to the sense of security when we define our own path and say goodbye to the path others paved. Hope that makes sense.
Madame Maru pointed out that the dragon looks like it's surrounding the sun.
It does. It's beautiful.
It's time to embrace your happiness instead of putting it off.
It almost looks like there's big sunflowers down there, like serenading or something at the bottom of the card. I don't know.
Yeah, and there's two little dragons that are like,
oh wow!
squealing
Oh,
in
see, I didn't even
happiness.
see the little dragons. It's so adorable.
They're like squealing in happiness watching this big dragon
Dance
play
in
with
the sun. I love it. Yeah.
So Karina said she's almost 50. Girl, the 50s are the best ever. The best decade. You're gonna love it.
Ooh, I got something to look forward to.
Oh man, there's so much
Right?
fun. There's so much fun. For women, it's just like this time of rediscovering who you are, re-remembering who you've always been. And
I'm happy about that. I'm 48 this year, so.
Oh, well, skip ahead, hon. I don't do any birthdays with 9s in them. I just tell everybody I'm older. So skip ahead. Just start telling everybody you're 50, because you know what happens then? You get used to it, but then everybody goes, "My God, you look great."
I love it.
Yeah, technically, I'm almost 52. I'm a year older than Hershe.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Elizabeth says, "Me too, Hershe, 48 this year."
Yep, I'll be 48 May 27th, so I'm getting there.
Yeah, Marta said her word of the year is contentment at 54.
Wow,
nice.
nice.
Heather says 50s are the best. I'm 53. Maybe I'm a late bloomer. LOL. I feel much better, Betsy.
Oh man.
And then of course Beth has to chime in. Babies. I'll be 70.
Baby. I'll forever be a baby. I'm okay with that.
I'll be 64 this summer.
Yeah, so. I hope I make it to both of your ages. I'm just saying. I hope I make it that far. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, it is time to shuffle. And we have Bill Anderson. He is born year of the horse, and he's asking for a reading. So we're giving everyone the same reading, Bill. What seeds have been planted in the previous year? What harvest has been cleared to make room for new seeds to be planted? And what do your ancestors ask you to nurture in your life right now? what seeds have been planted. Ooh, this is a beautiful star card. So the seeds that have been planted are seeds of hope. What I'm getting here. Seeds of finally being able to connect with your spirit guides that have been trying to talk to you from the stars, and listening to that inner wisdom that is represented by the ibis and the tree there, and realizing that we all have one foot in the conscious, one foot in the subconscious, and by finding that balance, that's where we find our hope, and we are able to finally connect to our spirits and listen. And I'm getting this idea that you've been doing so much work that it's now time to rest. Another rest card coming out, right? So while you're just basking in the light of the star, it is time to rest with that pearl of wisdom you gain from your ancestors and spirit guides. So those are the seeds that have been planted.
This is really interesting for me because I tried touching decks and everything was flying everywhere. I couldn't trust anything that was coming out. Only one card presented itself about what has been cleared. And I, again, have the Five of Cups card. So as I was trying to ask for clarification on this, it was just more confusion. So this is what I'm going with. I'm taking that word literally as confusion about there's a lot of ways to turn, but within your heart of hearts, you know which way you need to go because of the things from your past that you know you need to let go of and you need to walk away from. That you already know that, and it feels to me intuitively like to accomplish what is before you and what you're clearly aware of. This means going against some people's opinions, desires, wishes, whatever. That this may not be the popular choice, but the necessary choice. You know what's been cleared already, and I'll leave it to Hershe to finish the rest.
So I asked my team where did they want me to start, and they want me to start in the middle. So you got that right about now. The ancestors need you to understand that you are literally at a fork in the road in your life. You're going to have to make a choice. You can't stay Switzerland and you can't stay neutral, right? So the best advice I can give you from your ancestors and what will help you in your best future paths and journeys is all about the air dragon, right? The air dragon is all about clearing the air so that you are on a clear path, you have clear sight, you have clear words, and clear understanding, right? So, whatever this fork in the road is that you're dealing with, just know that you do have the backing of the universe to help you with clarity by a dragon, but you're also going to have Three of Cups energy. So you do have a whole team that will support you in a community and friendships that will help you and listen, even if they can't help you make the decision. They can listen to you while you make the list and which ones are your pros, your cons, and which ones are going forward with you. So it's only a fork in the road. It is a choice to be made, but you will make the one that is best for you. And that's what I've got for you.
Thank you, Hershe, and thank you, Bill, for asking for a reading. Hope that was helpful. And we've got Viviani.
Yanni, yay! And hi, Kristen. Saw you pop in.
I waved, but
Yeah.
hello, Kristen.
Yeah, Kristen, what are you up to anymore? Deck creator, teacher, scholar. Goodness, so many
busy.
So, Viviani, Betsy has your seeds, Hershe has your harvest, and I've got your ancestors.
Okay.
Oh, you're so welcome, Bill.
Before I can't even draw a card because I can't even draw a card because I was told to ask my yes or no decision maker, and I was told to do a yes or no on has my wish been granted, and the answer was yes. So the seed that has been planted is your wish has been granted, and I'm gonna leave it right there. Once again, my girl Hershe gonna back me up.
You know, the universe throws me in some pickles, right? So we're going to show you how to make a Mai Tai out of this pickle, right? So look, what you've already cleared is the best part. Because like I've said before, it's behind you. You overcame it. You did it. So when it shows back up in your future, you will absolutely recognize the pattern and you will know that it is not for you. No matter what it is, no matter how they doctor it up, no matter how much cinnamon they put in that apple pie, you gonna know that there's a worm in it, right? Because you're gonna recognize the pattern. You're going to be expanding your curiosity and your creativity because you got the air and fire dragon and it's all about creativity, and you got the beyond card. So you got the one and only solo card in the 5 cent tarot that is the wild card. This is beyond. This is about the soul, right? And that's literally what it says, the soul. So something about your soul is done with everything that is no longer serving you, and understand that everything that now from today forth comes your way is meant for you and it is serving. You just have to figure out how to make it work in your life. And that's what I got for you, sweetheart.
Bye, Heather. Thanks for
Hi,
coming.
Heather.
So, Viviani, what's your ancestors ask you to nourish right now? Once you've cleared all that crap out of the way, it's time to embrace your happiness, right?
Well,
It's time to nurture your happiness. It's time to let your bliss guide you. Follow your bliss, right? Don't let other people tell you you can't follow your bliss, because it is time to speak your dreams into reality, right? And by speaking your dreams, you end up finding that happiness. Okay? Nobody else has your happiness or your best interest in heart except you. Okay? Just remember that. The only person that's in charge of your happiness is you. Right? And the only way you can get other people in the idea is to speak your dreams, let them be. If you notice, like, you're not just speaking dreams, you're speaking stars, right? So each individual star is a sun, right? So you have to share that happiness, share the thing that brings happiness. Then that way you are creating more, right? And you're creating a path for others to follow.
and what a perfect time to speak your intention on the new moon, new year.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yep, absolutely.
Excellent.
You're very welcome.
You're welcome, Viviani.
So,
Absolutely.
and just Luis, that's so funny. Just occurred to me, why are you using Dragon Deck? Yes, it is Year of the Dragon. And no, it is not too late. We can, we will have you be our last one, Chris Luis. How about that? One more shuffle here. And that brings us back to the beginning, where Hershey started as number 1, and I was number 2.
Alrighty. And who are we rating on?
We are doing a reading for Kristen Luis.
Okay.
Okay.
I want that one. Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. Wow. Okay, I can't make this shit up. Okay. So Ooh, I apologize on language. I owe a quarter. Okay. What seeds have been planted, right? So this is the stuff that you've already did, and now you get to just sit back, right? No, not exactly. You're getting an opportunity. The universe is guaranteeing you a promise, right? You get the ace of buttons. This is a promise that will be fulfilled by the universe as long as you do the work so that you make a clear path, right? They want you to understand that there is something very fertile about this promise, this ace that's coming. This promise is about birthing something new. It doesn't necessarily have to be a human, right? So this is absolutely something brand new that you've never done it before, and they paired it with a dragon from Sirius. So with you getting this kind of knowledge and this kind of power, obviously whatever it is that you are again about to birth into this world and bring into life and breathe life into it is something out of this world, and I can't wait to see, because it's backed by yang power as well. And that's what I've got for you.
Thank you, Hershey. So what harvest has been cleared? We have the Ace of Wands, right? So your passion has been birthed, right? You've birthed your passion into the world. And again, I got speak your dreams, even though I shuffled and cut the deck. I think you have spoken your dreams. You have created, right? You've been a creatrix. And now what's next, right? I think that's what's kind of weighing on you. It's time to birth a new egg, so to speak, a new passion. And once you have that new passion, then you're able to speak your dreams once more. Because once you've done the passion thing and it's like the egg is hatched and you're like, well, now what? Now you find new dreams. Okay. And that is the harvest that has been cleared.
And you're going to crack up, because what do your ancestors want you to nourish, nurture? So first of all, I got the wheel, and I thought, well, the wheel showed up once before, and it was talking about riding the cycles. And in my head, I started sensing cards, and I knew the Four of Wands was in there, which is just such a happy card. But I said, okay, if it's in there, show it to me. But what jumped out was the Three of Wands. So, and I thought, well, that's a very different story. So what are you trying to tell me? The Six of Swords. And I said, oh, I get it. Okay, it's a chariot year. I get it. We must decide where we are driving the chariot. So it comes down to these things. This is your goal, right? The happy place. This is what's happening. Instead of riding the wheel, steer the wheel, drive it. So it's your decision about defining who you are, where you're going, what you want for yourself. Make a list of the things that you want for yourself. Make a list of the things that make you happy. We can all easily say the things we don't want to show up, because we know what that feels like. We're bombarded with that constantly. So defining what you truly want for yourself, even if it seems a fantasy, even if it seems it is magical thinking, become very crystal clear about your goals for yourself and how you want to design your life. That way you can get off the wheel, riding the wheel, create your own path, choose your destiny.
Mm-hmm. I like it. She says, yay, homework.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well,
Better
and
than being on a hamster's wheel, just going round and round and round and round. Not getting anywhere.
something that Betsy said kind of struck me. It's like we're always so focused on what we don't want, but the universe doesn't understand. I don't want this. No for this.
Right.
I don't want traffic, and the universe just hears traffic. Okay.
Traffic? Okay.
Okay.
Right.
You want
I said green lights. Green lights.
An error in my online banking. I don't want that. And that's what they hear is want error banking. want arrogant, right? They're really literal about that stuff.
Oh,
It's
yes,
like
they
the
are.
negative is not a concept for them. Like,
So
Nope.
you don't want something, so you do want it.
Pretty
yeah.
much.
So yeah. So if it sounds like it's a fantasy, I want to be a cruise ship specialist director of Oracle card deck creating, sailing around the Bermuda Triangle. It doesn't matter how stupid it sounds. Just get it started, because
That's right.
you'll refine it as you go along.
That's right.
Oh,
That's
Beth.
right.
Beth says, so the universe is like a dog? Pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, that would be yeah. Sometimes.
Definitely sometimes, for sure. Let us get rid of these. And we're back. Just us. Thank you, everyone, for coming. This has been a blast. Do you want to do one last one for the collective?
Sure.
Guess we should rearrange again. Oh, should be good.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Isn't that always the case?
I give up.
Hmm.
I surrender. I surrender.
Yeah. And the universe has a really bad sense of humor, so. Oh, that is a very sweet card. Okay. So the seeds that the collective has been planting, we have the 10 of Cups, right? That like familial happiness, but it came with acceptance, right? I think the collective, I know we're kind of like butting heads a lot more, but I think overall, we're definitely starting to be more like a global family, and we're starting to accept our differences a lot more. So those are the seeds that were planted in the last year for the collective.
Well, here's no surprise. I got the wheel. We're planting seeds, looking for acceptance. And also, I got with Jonathan's about planting seeds and acceptance is it's time to accept the things that you planted that just aren't going to grow. Just move on, people. Move on.
I love that, Betsy. Yes.
We've all been saying to ourselves for how long now? When everything gets back to normal, this is normal. Forget it. Just move along, people. Just nothing to see here. Move along. Move along. Just nothing to see here. Gone.
Well, I would have to say what she said. What she. Wherever she at. What Betsy said. Look, I got 6 of matches in reverse, right? So it's all about arrogance, right? So if you don't move on, this is where you're headed to. You're literally, so the ancestors want you to understand that Betsy is not saying that just to say it. She's literally letting you know that this is your sign. If you do not pay attention, what's going to happen is you are going to fall into your own arrogance, and you will not be able to co-create, and you will not receive the blue dragon from Pleiades, and you will not be receiving any kind of higher anything because you are going to be in a place of arrogance. So if you want to turn this energy around, absolutely do what Betsy told you to do so that you can co-create and receive this blue dragon, because this blue dragon is wonderful, but not if you're arrogant. It won't have it. It won't. They can't balance, won't allow it to happen. So get rid of the arrogance and be something much better and co-create. And that's what the ancestors want you to know.
I love that about the blue dragon, because I just realized that the dragons in the 10 of Cups are blue. Blue dragons.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep, absolutely.
And, since it is the Chinese Lunar New Year, in Asian cultures, of which Polynesia is a part, very different from America, the number one, and I do mean the number one, most cherished and most sought after quality in a human being is to be humble.
Right. Which the mainland doesn't really get.
Well, America, we're raised to put importance on independence, right?
Right.
Your parents did you a favor by birthing you. Now hurry your ass up through school and get the hell out of here. That's what America is all about, and it isn't that way in other cultures, right? So
Most other cultures, no.
yeah.
It's not about the individual; it's about the group,
right? The hive,
or the family, right?
It's a hive, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not a individual. It's a hive. Yeah,
I
Absolutely.
saw it when I was in China, because anytime there was like a car accident or someone fell off their bike or anything, two people were arguing, didn't matter what was going on. Suddenly there was a crowd of people surrounding whatever was happening, and everyone was like putting in their 2 cents. Everyone was talking. Like they all have to put in their 2 cents, right? So
and Bill, to answer your question, how often are y'all on live on YouTube? The answer is frequently. So you would subscribe to all of our channels.
subscribe to all 3.
Hershe's
The
very
links are down
busy.
below.
Hershe's very busy. I do guest appearances mostly on Tarot Stash, but in my playlist, you can see all the guest appearances, so you'll figure out where I am. And Jonathan does a lot of deck work and a lot of reviews as well as readings. So absolutely.
Absolutely. She took the words out of my mouth that I was going to say, Bill. So there you go. Just subscribe.
Oh, Beth.
Several times a
You
week.
have a point. Beth has a point. You can't survive on the East or West Coast large cities if you're humble.
I would disagree with that. I would disagree with
disagree.
that. Humility is not weakness.
No, it is
Right.
not. No, it is not. No,
It
it's
takes a lot
not.
more courage and it takes a lot more strength to be humble and to be kind than to be an asshole. It's easy to be an asshole.
Right.
Yes, that is so easy. It's easier to frown than it is to smile because it takes less muscles. So I guarantee you can absolutely. I have met some very humble people from some very large cities, and I've got family all the way through a lot of cities in this state or this country, and I can tell you that if no matter if they're in Chicago, or if they're on the West Coast, or they're on the South Coast down in Florida or whatever, they're in bigger cities, and I'm telling you, they're humble. They're very humble. They're very still. They're very calm, and they have learned to bend so that they don't break.
Yes, I am preaching to the choir. And Lady Silver, thank you.
Oh, yeah. I just saw her. You didn't mention your wonderful teaching videos. You have some good ones, Betsy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Betsy and Hershe. This has been a blast. I had a feeling
You're
it
very
would be.
Thank
Yeah.
you for inviting me.
Of course. I would love to have you back anytime.
Anytime. I'm here.
I just need to start being a little more online instead of.
Absolutely. I'm definitely down. Anytime. Sure.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. I'm going to do the little short intro as our outro. And
Ahoo-yo! Ahoo-yo! Ahoo-yo!